How's it going, Kittanning? We are back for another episode of the Kittanning Podcast, the final episode in our series on the county commissioner candidates. Have our final candidate here today, Mrs. Deb Whiteman. Deb, it's wonderful to have you today. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Very much looking forward to getting to know you, and very much looking forward to everyone else getting to know you. I think it's very important for all of us to have a good knowledge of who you're voting for in the upcoming election. And so the primary is on May 21st, coming up really fast.
It is.
And so we're getting you here just in time.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about who you are, just to give everyone out there an idea of your history in Armstrong County. How'd you end up at this point running for county commissioner?
Well, my history is I was born and raised in North Buffalo Township, Armstrong County. My parents were from Armstrong County, and they were also from Armstrong County all their lives.
Yeah.
My husband, Clark Whiteman, he is from Armstrong County, North Buffalo Township also. And we had 4 children together. Combined, we have 4 children.
Wow.
9 grandchildren.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a handful.
I bet.
We also had raised 4 grandchildren for about 11 years. Their mother was in a tragic accident, and so we took them in for a while. So we kind of raised 2 families.
Yeah.
So we did, yeah. And we'd do it all over again for them, though. They're your grandchildren, you know.
Absolutely.
So,
I maybe need to get some advice from you. I'm raising 4 children currently.
There you go.
You've done it twice successfully.
I've done it twice. Well, I don't know how successful it was, but it seems to be. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
That's okay. And I had about 13 years of banking before I went to the commissioner's office. And I worked there in the commissioner's office. I've been there 18 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, been there a long time. I'm right at the front window. When you come in and you want problems or want to speak to them, you have to come to me first.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can solve that problem, I do before you even go in. Usually, a lot of people just want to be heard.
Sure.
They just want to know that somebody cares and is paying attention, and they come in there for that.
Okay.
So that's pretty much.
So you've been on the front lines of the county government for 18 years.
18 years.
That's pretty
in
impressive.
There, I know.
Yeah, very
Probably
cool.
the longest running administrator ever. So, yeah, you got to be a little stubborn to get through 18 years. But it's okay. I love my job, so I love doing what I do.
Great. Okay. Well, what do you think makes you uniquely qualified to be the next county commissioner?
Well, I think my qualification comes from the 18 years of working in the county government, and I'm a liaison. I'm a liaison between the commissioners and the county offices, the row offices, and the community services. You know, you got your area agency on aging, community action agency, children and youth, BDHP, behavioral health, and conservation district. Then we have all our regular offices, you know, right in the courthouse. And usually, you know, they call me if they need something or want something. So I know a little bit how they all work a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think that highly qualifies me. When the representatives call, senators call, I've had a little bit of a liaison between them and the commissioners also when they're not there. So I have a touch with a little bit of bases on all that.
That's awesome.
So I do, yeah.
So you worked a lot with Senator White's office and
I
Jeff
have.
Powell's office.
And Joe Pittman and all of those down there. They're great guys. Jeremy Dias, you know,
Yes.
they're good people.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, very cool. I had no idea. I know people. I don't think people understand how many departments there are.
Oh, there's a lot of departments.
Yeah. Until I started actually doing these interviews and learning about it.
Right,
There's way bigger than you think.
It is way bigger. You have the courts and the probation and the prothonotary, register and recorders, sheriff, domestics, public defenders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can go on. We have assessment, tax claim, controllers. They're all in the courthouse.
Absolutely.
So, and they all have different jobs, but they're all very well. They all do very well at their jobs, so they do.
Very good. So what do you love about Armstrong County? You know, what's your favorite things around here?
Let's see. Let me see what I put down here. In the county, I love the natural resources. I love the rivers.
Oh, yeah.
The beauty of our county. It's just a wonderful place.
Yeah.
The trails. You have all the folk festivals and all these things that happen. And the people are wonderful in Armstrong County.
Yeah.
They're very caring people. Whenever you have a problem or you're in need, no one hesitates to jump in and help whenever you need it.
Right.
That's what I love most about the county.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. It seems like every time that I've ever had any kind of need, or whenever we're trying to do something in the community, there's always people around that want to help.
Right.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing too, I think, is the people. How about a favorite restaurant? You got a favorite restaurant?
I don't really have a favorite restaurant. I love them all, as you can see. I like them all. I can name a few. We go to Clyde's Restaurant and Bar in Kittanning.
Oh, yeah.
We're from that area.
No one's mentioned Clyde's yet.
They got great pizza and wings. I'm telling you, it's good. But we live near the Villa, so I go to the Villa, and we have the Inn, Rachel's Roadhouse. I mean, I could name and name and name. We have a lot of food places.
Yeah.
And then I always say, and then we can go Dairy Queen or Speedy's or wherever for dessert. So
it's a very underrated ice cream county, I think.
It is underrated ice cream.
You have Whitman, all the way up Whitman, and then all the way down south. There's just good ice cream places everywhere.
They do. Yeah, they do.
Although we need one downtown Kittanning.
We do. Maybe that'll be my next job.
There you go. All right. So, as the next county commissioner, I'm sure that you're looking and you see you probably have a better view of the problems than just about anybody else that we face as a county.
Right.
What do you think are like your top 3 problems that you see in our county, or the things that you would want to work on in the next 4 years?
Right. I definitely would like to work on our school taxes. Our taxes are so high. I feel bad for the elderly, especially, that they can't meet those taxes or having problems with those. We need to educate the people the difference between our school taxes and our county taxes.
Right.
Your county taxes aren't what's hurting you.
Right.
It's the school taxes. It's that big tax that comes in. And I think we need to lobby more for that. We need to lobby about maybe trying to bring back I think there was an act at one time they were trying to bring in the sales tax and, hiring the sales tax. So you spend by your means. You don't, spend beyond your means because you don't have it. You have to pay for it up front.
Yeah.
And I think that would help the elderly a lot more. So I think that's one of our big problems, and we need to educate on that a little bit more. And the lack of business. I think there's jobs out there. There are jobs out there for people, but it's a lack of education, the qualifications for those jobs.
Sure.
I think we need to maybe reach out to try and qualify our people more and so that they're able to do those jobs. And of course, my third would be the drugs and crime. Well, the drug problem, and along with that comes crime.
Sure.
But I think we need to educate also on that. I think we really need to the drug problem is a hard thing, but I'd like us to work harder, work with our drug task force on that. And those are the 3 major things I think in our county that really need to be looked at.
Absolutely. So I'd like to go in detail on those. I've identified 4 problems that I see for Kittanning itself.
Right.
And I kind of see Kittanning as a microcosm of the whole county. And so if I can go through each of those 4 things with you, and then we'll come back to taxes at the end for sure. My number 1 is, like you said, availability of jobs in the county. And every single person I think recognizes that. You see empty storefronts and you see empty spaces at North Point and those kind of things.
Right.
So how would you as the next county commissioner attract new businesses? How would you fill up those downtown areas and help the cities to create more jobs?
Right. I think, first of all, we have LERTAs, which are in place. That's your local economic revitalization tax assistance.
Right.
And we need to educate our businesses that we have those. We need to utilize them more. I don't feel that the people know they're there. There is also LERTAs for property, for people to build homes.
Right.
You build the homes, the people come, the businesses will come. And we need that, and that's going to help us bring them in as long as they're educated that we have those. Also, I think we need to talk to our businesses and find out what they want from us. What are they expecting from us to come here? And try to work with them on getting them what they need to bring them here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Have you? I'm just curious, since you've been kind of at the forefront there. I know there have been some businesses over the last few years that have come into town or have come into the county. What's your role been in all of that as far as trying to have those conversations with these new businesses?
Well, I really haven't had the role in that.
Okay.
I just listen to them
Yeah.
talk, and I really, not being the commissioner, that's one of the other reasons I want to run, is because I want to be able to get in there and talk
Yeah.
to them and find out what's going on with these companies and the people and what they're thinking.
Right.
And I can't do that because I'm not in that role.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I can talk to them and listen, but I really can't do anything about it.
Right. Okay.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to have someone in there that would be able to do more as well.
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I just look at it and you see there's a lot of opportunity here, you would think. I mean, it's a beautiful place to live.
It is a beautiful place. I love it here.
Yeah.
Love it here.
Okay. Well, very cool. That's great. Next on my list is the drug epidemic, so we're right in sync there as well.
Right.
The opioid epidemic is high on everybody's list, I
It is.
think.
It is.
We were number 2 in the state a few years ago. I believe we were number 4, and now it seems to be going in the right direction.
Right.
But what would you do as the next county commissioner, to help solve the issue of the opioid problem?
I think we need to back up our drug task force. I think they're doing a wonderful job, and I think that's why it is coming down. But I think it comes down to the parents. I think they need to listen, pay attention, and I think they need to start that at a young age. I think they need to talk to their children when they're young and just keep talking to them. Just keep talking to them. As long as they're living with you and are still growing in your home, they need to be talked to. And pay attention to who they're with, who they're hanging out with. And sometimes it's a little bit tough love, you know. It's going to be tough love sometimes when they're older and they're into the drugs, and and there's no family unscathed from drugs.
Right.
It doesn't pick and choose. It could be anybody. And it can go from the richest house to the poorest house. It's just there. And just because you have money doesn't mean it's not happening there. You still need to talk to those kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? You still need to. And I don't know that we'll ever solve the drug problem. I think it's always been there. It has just gotten worse.
Right.
And the drugs have gotten worse.
Yeah.
And so now I think with a lot of the deaths and the younger people, and I feel so bad for those families, because my family's not unscathed from it either.
Yeah. It's
I
heartbreaking.
think everybody has somebody somewhere in their family that's got a problem. So I think we just need to stick together. We maybe need to go to other counties and find out what they're doing, because it isn't just Armstrong County.
Right.
It's every county, and it's through the state. It's not just here. I mean, it's hard for us here because we live here. It's our families and our friends, but it's everywhere. And maybe get out there and find out what other people are doing, what's working for them, what's working for us, and kind of mingle it all together, and maybe it'll get better and better. And that's what we can hope for anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talked a little bit about the drug task force and that whole deal. What exactly did they do? I'm not familiar with all that from a county perspective.
I'm not real sure what all they do. I know that they I think they have people out there, that are watching and knows what's going on. They watch over homes where the drugs are going in and out.
Okay. And then they're working with local police forces,
They are.
assuming?
I'm
okay.
assuming they're working with them. I'm pretty sure they are. And that's another thing. Maybe we need to maybe facilitate somewhere where these people can go to get help, the ones that really want the help. Mm-hmm. Let's get them somewhere where they can go and get the help. Because if it's your child or my child, I sure want them to get help.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if they're willing to do that, and if not, sometimes you just got to let them fall and hope that we can pick them back up, whenever it's over.
I agree that there doesn't seem to be any major treatment facilities around here, which is surprising.
No, there doesn't. And
because you have to get sent way far away to get
right.
To get
So,
proper
and
treatment.
I don't see where it would be a problem to get something here for that. We need to do that.
Absolutely.
We need to. It's our family, it's our friends. We need to do that.
Okay.
I think that would be a major thing here in the county that I would like to see happen anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So that was number 2 on my list. Number 3 we haven't talked about yet. It's one thing that I've been working on a lot is blight. And so
Yes.
blight, as far as a house that's been abandoned, it's not being taken care of, and then that kind of spreads. No one wants to live next to that house, so they try to sell their house, they move away, they don't take care of their houses, and it just kind of spreads through a whole city.
It does.
And
It
so
does.
that blight issue, what would you do? I know the county's done a couple things already to kind of get started, but what would you be doing as a commissioner to help solve that issue?
I would push through with that. I would keep the blight program going, the land banks going, and get those places. I don't believe in ever going in and just taking someone's property. If you're poor and you don't have, and your house is fallen, but you live there, let's try and get them some help to fix it.
Sure.
But not take it from them.
Right.
But if there's property that's been abandoned because of it was left to heirs and heirs left town or something like that, now you're talking a different story. Or it's falling and it's endangering the people beside them or children next door. We need to do something with those properties.
Yeah.
And you get rid of those properties and it looks much better and it's going to bring the people in.
Right.
So I think we should just keep working with the blight program we have. They're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I'd like to see that expanded and even, be more aggressive. You look at Ford City. I don't know if you saw the other day.
That
building in
fell
Ford
in.
City fell on that truck.
I know. That was a shame.
And there was somebody in there, too. I mean,
know.
it's just a matter of time before something like that happens and somebody
Right.
gets killed.
And there are a lot of places like that need to be taken down.
Yeah.
Or, talk to the people, the owners, or and there are some that are just landlords that don't they rent them and get the money, but they don't fix them up.
Right.
There has to be something we can do to fix that.
Yeah.
And I think if we build on that program, it'll just get better and better.
Yeah. So is that the county now? There's money comes into the county, and then they decide the different houses, or how did?
Yeah, I think there's grant. They apply for grant monies.
The cities. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what helps do those.
Okay. All right. So that is coming right from the county. That's
yes,
great.
It is.
Okay. Good. The last one that I have is you might know a lot of our cities. I'm sure you've dealt with city council people and all that with your time up there too.
Mm-hmm.
So our cities are struggling to manage the problems that they face. I know in Kittanning we have a great city council. I really genuinely like every single person on there.
Right.
But each one of them has full-time jobs.
Right.
And they're trying to run a city and trying to work through all the different issues that they face on a daily basis. How would you, as like a county commissioner, as a full-time person, be able to work with our cities to help them manage the problems that they face?
Right. Well, putting politics aside,
Mm-hmm.
I work with Democrats and Republicans,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a full board to do the job, to help our county. I mean, you have to be working full-time. You have to be there. We have services, like we have the CCAP, that's County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Northwest County Commissioners. We have the SPC, Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission. We need to go to those. Those help all counties surrounding us, not just us. Helps Armstrong, Indiana, Butler, and you need to go there and find out what's going on, what we can do.
Yeah.
But you got to be a part of that. You got to go. One commissioner cannot do it all.
Sure.
And there are so many things out there, so many committees, and we need full-time commissioners to be there and go to these things and bring that stuff back here.
Yeah.
Because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, Butler's thriving,
Right.
Indiana's doing well. We need to bring that stuff, figure out how to get it here, bring the knowledge back here. Go get educated, bring it back here, and then do it.
Right.
Not just bring it back and then forget about it.
Sure.
Bring it back and do it. You need to be there. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And it takes a full board.
Yeah.
Not just one commissioner can do it all. It takes a full board.
Absolutely.
So it does.
Yeah, 3 people working together would be key. Having to have
Right.
3 full-time people.
Right.
There.
Right.
Okay. Well, very good. I hear a lot of complaints about taxes. I know we talked about that a little bit. I don't know your thoughts on that. I know you talked about the school tax and lobbying for that.
Right.
How would you go after that specifically? I mean, would it be with the school board, or how do you?
You do. You have to go to the school board. We're going to have to lobby to our school boards and say, hey, we're losing people. We can't afford this. The people here can't afford this. We need to educate our people. We need to educate the citizens and let them know the difference between, like I said, the county tax and the school board. But then we need to lobby those schools hard and heavy. We need to, really let them know how unfortunate it is that we have to pay. We have people, I talk to people all the time that don't want to move to our county because of our school tax. Not because of our county or the drugs or the businesses. It's because they can't afford the taxes.
Right.
And that again comes in turn with your LRTA and, and help with our taxes. And if you can eliminate the county tax for so many years, it'll make it easier on the school tax until maybe we can do something more.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But we definitely got to lobby our legislators and our school both for that school tax because we can't change the school tax.
Yeah.
They have to do that.
Right.
Yeah,
I look at places like I moved here from Greensburg, and you mentioned Butler, and you look at housing plan after housing plan after housing plan, and it's just like it once you can get it going, it's like a rolling the rock downhill.
Right.
If we could build 100 new houses every few years, it would be
right.
a lot of extra
and
tax money.
Like I said, there are LRTAs in place for residential LRTAs.
Yeah.
There are residential LRTAs as far as I know in the North Point, in the back end of there. There's no houses back there. Does anybody even know that? I've talked to people, they don't know that.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what are we doing wrong here?
Yeah.
It's time to step up to the plate and use these things. Utilize what you have. You know what I mean? To help these people and get them in here. Because I know like Butler area and out in Sarver area and those places, they're putting in housing all the time.
Right.
And they don't even have LRTAs.
Yeah.
So, something isn't right here, you know. So we need to really get out there and talk about it. We really do. I think it's all going to come down to communication and talk to your taxpayers and your citizens and see what they want. I hope if and when I become a commissioner, I can listen to the citizens, have them into my office and listen to what they have to say, because that's what they want. They want to be heard.
Yeah.
That's usually all they want. They want to be heard.
Yeah. And a lot of times you're hearing all this stuff.
I'm hearing it, but
you're not able to do anything.
Right. My hands are tied. I can't do anything for them. I try, and I have done some good things for some people and with adoptions and things like that by talking to other people that I know because I work, like I said, as a liaison through these other, but I really don't have any power to push it any further. So I'd like to have that and work with that. And I've been doing it for a long time, so I think I can do it.
Very cool.
I think I can do it.
So what do you think? I mean, you have some special insight there with your time at the county.
Right.
What are some of the most common complaints that you hear kind of being at the front lines like that? I know this isn't on our list, but I'm just curious.
Well, I think my biggest complaint right now is the commissioners not being there that I hear. They come, they want to see them, they're not there.
Okay.
Or they're calling and they're not getting answers or return calls. And I'm not going to point any fingers at any of them. I don't have to. They know who they are. So, but that's the biggest complaint I'm having now. That and let me think. Jobs. People want jobs. And the jobs are out there, I think, with the millennial, and it's going to be different.
Sure.
Kids are different now.
Absolutely.
It's not like it was where you were hands-on when we were kids. You went out there and you shoveled and you worked and you threw bales of hay. It didn't matter if you were a girl or a boy, you did it.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like they're on them computers and, that's what they want. So I think educating them is going to bring those jobs. They're going to be able to fill those jobs. Right now we're having a hard time filling them. They either aren't educated or they can't pass a drug test.
Yeah.
So those things we have to take care of. And those are the biggest complaints we have.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. And I look at things like Lenape and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, could we expand the programming?
Exactly. I have that in my notes that Lenape is a good place, any kind of a tech school. I will tell you that my daughter's a nurse. She runs the nursing department out here at the jail.
Okay.
And she was a nurse down in North Carolina for years. She finally came back home, thank goodness. But She went to Lenape Tech, and she has a good job and has worked since she left there. My son is in the Carpenters Union, and he went to Lenape Tech.
Yeah.
And he makes good money. Now, he does have to work out of state a lot,
Right.
but he makes good money, and their education came from Lenape Tech.
Yeah.
And I think if we get back to those standards and put the kids in there and let them learn,
I think as a nation, we've shunned it for so long.
We
and said, you have to go to a 4-year
You need to
and
go
get
to
a bachelor.
college, and you need to stay in a school. Well, you know what? You don't need to.
Yeah. Well, now you'd end up with $100,000 in debt
That's
and no
the
job.
problem. That's the problem. Is the debt.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that debt.
We have
and then they say
18-year-old
there's no
kids.
jobs.
Yeah. There's 18-year-old kids coming out of Lenape and going to Oberg as a machinist and making $50,000 tomorrow. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity.
I think it is too. And I think it was a shame that we couldn't have done something that up here at the senior high school when it left, like put something like that in there. If I would have been a commissioner at the time, that's what I'd have lobbied for, was putting some kind of a tech school or something in there. The building's not bad.
Yeah.
It's big.
Right.
It would house a nice tech school.
Absolutely.
And that would have helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't know what's happening with that. I know there was buyers. I think
the
Dynamics or something.
gymnastics places.
Yes,
in there now.
I think they took over that.
Yeah.
So, but that would have been a really good place for one.
Yeah.
It would have been.
I'm sure there'll be other big empty spaces
I
in
hope
the future.
so. I hope so, and I hope we can fill it up.
Yeah. Well, very good. So my last question for you to kind of finish us out. I'm a man that I want to see a vision. You know, I think that where there's no vision, then we're not going anywhere if there's no vision. And so as a city, you know, I'm trying to kind of formulate a vision for Kittanning, but as a county, I'm assuming you have some things that you would like to see happen. Say you were in there for a couple of terms, 10 years from now, what would Armstrong County look like in your vision if Deb Whiteman would get her way on everything that she wants?
If I get my way on everything I want. That's probably not going to happen, but I hope so. But no, I would see more businesses. I'd like to see downtown Kittanning look like it did when I was younger, and you had a Brody's, and you had, Joe's Army Navy, and every corner there was a store. I'd love to see that again. We don't have enough businesses like that, like clothing stores, and we don't have them. We just don't have them. And where do we go spend our money? We travel.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing here.
Right.
We need to bring that in. And my vision is to see that there, and the little mom and pop shops. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with them. I love them.
Absolutely.
They're the best places to go buy anything.
Totally agree with you.
those little shops and the little businesses. But we need to help them. We need to help them to get them here. And I would see our drug at a very minimal. And of course, like I said, along with drug comes crime, and I think our crime will go way down, and I think if we all stick together and we all lend a helping hand with each other, I think we can do that with this county.
Absolutely.
I think we can do it.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Anything else you?
No, other than I love it here, and
Yeah.
I plan on staying. No matter what, I plan on staying here. So
Yeah. Well, it is. It's so good to meet you.
it's nice meeting you.
If somebody wanted to get involved with your campaign, they want to help you out over the next couple weeks to help get you in office. What's the best way to get in touch with you? What's the best way to get involved with your campaign? How can people support you?
Oh, they can call me anytime on my cell phone. Can I put my cell phone number on there?
You can, absolutely.
It is 724-664-5790. Give me a call. I can use the people at the polls to help hand out cards and get my name out there. Just word of mouth helps a lot.
Absolutely.
So I'll take any help I can get. I don't care who you are.
Very good. Very good. Well, if you guys are interested in voting for Deb, the primary is on May 21st, and it's actually very important for you. You're running on the Republican side of the ticket, and so the Republican side has 5 candidates. They're going to be whittled down to 2. On the Democrat side, there's only 2 candidates, so they're both going to get through anyway. So it's very important, if you want to vote for Deb, that you make sure that you're there on May 21st to vote for her. And that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it. I just want to thank everybody, and let's just stick with it.
Absolutely. Well, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Yeah. Hopefully you all enjoyed meeting Deb, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.